that's dope, you know. So, you know, it was good sparring. It was very good experience for me.
Him, the way we focused on him.
The bigger guys training for this, how's that felt?
You said a
sparring, sparring the bigger guys.
Oh.
The highly anticipated showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is shaping up to be a blockbuster, uniting two of the sport's biggest names. Crawford, holding an undefeated 41-0 record, understands the dangers of going against a fighter of Canelo's caliber and refuses to risk tarnishing his perfect career without thorough preparation. To get ready, Crawford has been learning from Canelo's former rivals. Recently, he was even seen working alongside Floyd Mayweather, training just weeks ago, a clear indication of how seriously he's taking this challenge. This collaboration highlights Crawford's determination to prepare in every way possible and his willingness to absorb knowledge from boxing's elite.
Can you fill in the blank? Triple G is blank.
Si puedes terminarle la expresión. Triple G es, ¿qué dirías?
After training with Mayweather, Crawford has now turned his attention to Gennady Triple G Golovkin, despite the fact that Canelo Alvarez defeated Golovkin twice in their trilogy. The first encounter between Canelo and Golovkin still sparks heated debate, with many arguing the draw was unjust. Statistically, Golovkin outlanded Canelo in 10 out of 12 rounds, yet the judges ruled the fight even. That controversial verdict fueled the rivalry and set up two more matches, where Canelo eventually edged out victories. Still, Crawford is now looking to Golovkin for wisdom, aiming to use his insights as preparation for the monumental test that lies ahead.
I mean, you don't have to give details. I know you guys are competitive, but what was that sparring like? Fight fans want to know. It was dope. It was dope. It was dope. I appreciate it.
Crawford is eager to grasp exactly how Gennady Golovkin managed to trouble and neutralize Canelo Alvarez enough to secure the disputed draw. His bond with Golovkin actually began when rumors of a Crawford vs. Triple G clash surfaced last year. But the first piece of advice Crawford absorbed from Golovkin wasn't technical, it was a blunt reality check about the raw force behind Canelo's punches. Having gone 12 hard rounds with Alvarez, Golovkin provided first-hand perspective that has given Crawford valuable knowledge as he gears up for his toughest fight yet, particularly about the sheer physical strength Canelo brings into every battle.
For even, giving me the opportunity to step in the ring with him, I can say that.
One of the defining moments of the Canelo-Golovkin trilogy came in their opening bout, when Canelo landed a heavy right hand in round 9 that caught Golovkin flush. Speaking to DAZN, Golovkin recalled just how that punch felt, and his words may be significant to Terence Crawford. Golovkin admitted, "I remember that punch. I let it connect, but I'm not sure how to describe it. It didn't feel like real power. It was more like a slap, maybe even a glancing shot." While many perceive Canelo's power as his greatest weapon, Golovkin's downplaying of it could provide Crawford with added belief heading into their possible encounter.
Jake Paul's in town, you guys gonna get dinner?
I didn't think so.
Maybe next time.
Canelo, can you fill in the blank for me? Triple G is blank.
Beyond conversations, Crawford even shared a light sparring session with Gennady Golovkin, similar to the one he had with Floyd Mayweather weeks earlier. When whispers of a Crawford vs. Golovkin fight surfaced, many observers dismissed it as unrealistic. Some potential bouts in boxing, regardless of how intriguing they sound, simply aren't feasible. That seemed to be the case with the rumored megaclash between the former undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford and the former super middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin. Still, speculation grew as reports suggested Crawford's team had at least explored the idea of making it happen.
Да, потому что я скажу так, наверное, во мне вот эта вот страсть к боксу еще пока не остыла. В данный момент у меня 3 пояса в 160, мне надо решать свои вопросы.
Now 42 years old, Gennady Golovkin never officially declared retirement, but since suffering his second career defeat to Canelo Alvarez in 2022, he hasn't stepped back into the ring. Instead, he took on the role of heading Kazakhstan's Olympic Committee, reducing any likelihood of a comeback. Yet social media recently ignited with fresh rumors of a potential Crawford vs. Golovkin bout in 2025, allegedly with Saudi backing. Fight Hub TV reported the chatter and invited fan reactions, which quickly gained traction. A Saudi royal advisor soon commented, shutting down the speculation entirely by writing, "Not truth," confirming that no such negotiations exist.
Ну, я думаю, даже скажу, может быть, немножко громко, я неплохо себя чувствовал, и если вы видели, как бы...
Even after the denial, fans couldn't resist debating what would happen if Crawford and Golovkin ever fought. Though seemingly retired, Golovkin still commands a strong fan base online. Supporters insisted that despite slowing with age, Triple G's power would remain intact, with one fan saying, at 160, Triple G might be slower, but he's still powerful. Others disagreed, pointing to his current appearance, with one comment stating, "Have people seen him recently? He looks like a retired man, not someone who's sparred or run in years." Interestingly, despite looking finished, Golovkin himself has occasionally hinted at a possible return in interviews, keeping curiosity alive.
В принципе, даже не пропускал, и не устал. То есть я показал, что есть силы, чему я очень рад.
Another fan chimed in with a bold prediction, writing, "Crawford won't even step in the ring for this fight. Triple G would stop him within 7 rounds." They highlighted that Crawford has only gone the distance once in his last 12 fights, proving how dangerous he is, but still argued that a prime Golovkin would be too much. Golovkin's knockout stats support the claim, 42 wins with 37 knockouts, establishing him as one of the most feared finishers in boxing. For many fans, even the suggestion of this matchup sparks passionate debates about generational power versus skill.
Где бы я бы ни находился, я, конечно, буду думать о том, как...
Weight divisions add another wrinkle to the discussion. Crawford moving up could put him at a disadvantage, as one fan wrote, "SMH, Terence should just retire, he has no one left to face." They're pulling names from a hat now. That's not entirely true, as Jaron Boutsenis has pushed hard for a fight with Crawford, though Butt has declined. Another fan, however, embraced the idea, stating, "An older Triple G versus Crawford would be incredible." They acknowledged that both fighters bring world-class ability, making for a fantasy matchup that would excite fans. Sadly, as is often the case in boxing, dream fights aren't always possible.
Pocos huevos.
This leads back to the original rumor that Saudi officials, led by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, were exploring a megafight between former undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford and former super middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin. Though that fantasy clash never came to life, Crawford has now landed the massive opportunity against Canelo Alvarez instead. It's a career-defining moment for both. Crawford has already shared the ring with elite names like Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter, and Amir Khan, while Canelo has squared off with legends such as Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Sergey Kovalev, along with his unforgettable trilogy against Golovkin. Their rivalry stretched over 5 years, beginning in 2017 with a controversial draw that many still feel Golovkin deserved to win.
We don't know. You know, we know he's capable of a lot of things, but you know, we're not going to overlook anything, and that's why we prepare the way we prepare and focus on.
The rematch between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin took place a year after their first encounter, with Canelo narrowly edging out a points decision. Their trilogy concluded in 2022, with Alvarez winning more convincingly on the scorecards, cementing his dominance in the rivalry. More recently, Canelo signed a 4-fight deal with Riyadh Season, the first set for May 3rd against IBF super middleweight champion William Skull, as he attempts to once again unify and become undisputed super middleweight champion. One man who knows exactly what it takes to prepare for Canelo was Abel Sanchez, who trained Golovkin for 2 of those battles in 2017 and 2018. Speaking to KO Artist Sports, Sanchez dismissed Crawford's chances against Canelo, arguing that Crawford's natural size disadvantage would be too great a hurdle.
I spar bigger guys.
Yeah.
I never sparred nobody my size, so that's nothing.
Okay, guys, thank you.
So super middleweight wouldn't be a problem, right?
Nope. Thank you, Terence. Appreciate it.
It's a ridiculous fight, Abel Sanchez bluntly stated. "I've said it before, Crawford is a great fighter, but from 135 to 147, he hasn't changed or adjusted to make himself effective at higher weights, whereas Canelo has consistently evolved. Crawford isn't blowing opponents away, he beat someone who was already a shell of his former self. Meanwhile, Canelo is destroying nearly everyone in his path. Crawford just isn't doing that. Sure, it's a big money fight, but it's not a real fight. Similarly, Andre Ward, a former two-division champion and undefeated great, has also shared his thoughts on the possibility of Alvarez versus Crawford.
I could bet the house on, but because me and him.
Terence Crawford has had Canelo in his sights ever since his career-defining victory over Errol Spence Jr. last year. While Canelo initially brushed off the idea, he has since admitted he'd be willing to defend his super middleweight belts against the smaller Crawford if the financial terms were right. Speaking on the All the Smoke podcast, Andre Ward, who retired undefeated at 32-0, revealed the two fights he most wants to see in boxing today. "I'd like to see Canelo fight either Terence Crawford or David Benavidez," Ward said. He has two options: face a man in his own division, or fight the smaller guy, Crawford.
We so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball.
When pressed on who he would back in a potential Crawford versus Canelo clash, Andre Ward made it clear, "I'm not betting against Terence right now, not against anybody." Ward explained that Crawford's skill set and mental approach make him a rare fighter. "Crawford is someone you simply can't bet against. Me and him are cut from the same cloth in mentality. He's incredibly skilled, but it's his heart and his mindset that separate him. A lot of guys talk, but when the real fight comes, they crumble. Crawford isn't like that. I'm not saying he should win against Canelo, but it's a 50-50 fight. Until it happens, nobody truly knows."
Wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude.
Shakur Stevenson echoed that belief, praising Crawford's unique mentality. "He's a dog," Stevenson said, emphasizing Crawford's ability to rise to the moment every time it matters. Stevenson, who refers to Crawford as his big brother, firmly believes Bud would beat Canelo despite the 14-pound weight gap. While Canelo, unlike Jermall Charlo, hasn't shown interest in fighting Crawford due to the size disparity, Stevenson insists that size is not the deciding factor. To him, it's about skill, and Crawford's southpaw stance, slick movement, and technical mastery, Stevenson argues, would give Canelo serious problems and possibly even lead to an upset victory.
Like I've been saying this, I don't think size win fights, I think skills do. Yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would be Canelo.
Speaking with IFL TV, Shakur Stevenson again praised Crawford's dominance in the sport. "He's running things right now," Stevenson said when asked about Crawford's next move. He admitted he would love to see Crawford face Jermall Charlo, although Charlo already has a fight lined up against Canelo. Still, Stevenson reiterated his view that Crawford could beat Canelo. He pointed out how Bud's southpaw angles, movement, and boxing IQ would neutralize Canelo's trademark left hooks and power punches. "I wish Charlo wasn't already fighting Canelo, but that's the way it is," Stevenson said. For him, skills will always outweigh size, and Crawford, in his opinion, has the skills to take the win.
Who knows?
That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
I'm just saying, man, we can't say it's not gonna happen. We can't say that it.
With Saudi Arabia increasingly investing in blockbuster boxing events, the prospect of Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez feels more realistic than ever. Trainer Robert Garcia spoke about the matchup, noting that while Canelo does have certain advantages, Crawford's career trajectory also presents complications. Garcia warned that if Crawford doesn't secure the fight with Canelo soon, he may walk away from the sport altogether.
Because the way Crawford is doing it is because he knows it's the biggest payday in his life, and he'll never. Maybe what he could get against Canelo, he's never made in all his fights combined.
Crawford is a smart man, and he's already achieved everything he set out to do, Garcia told Fight Hype. He's done it all and doesn't have to prove himself to anyone. But I've spoken with him personally, and I know he really wants that mega fight with Canelo. If it doesn't happen, I wouldn't be surprised if he never fights again. Garcia also floated other potential opponents, including Jermall Charlo, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Sergey Bohachuk, and Xander Zayas, though he made it clear Crawford's priority remains Alvarez.
Of course, why would he call out Benavidez when he's calling out Canelo knowing that he's going to make double the money?
Because he wants to fight at 68, that's why.
So that's why.
For Robert Garcia, Crawford has already etched his legacy in stone. With an unbeaten record and a career stacked with accomplishments, Garcia believes Crawford has nothing left to prove. He's not going to fight just to satisfy the fans who say, "You need to fight this guy or that guy," Garcia explained. He emphasized that money isn't a factor either, since Crawford has already built wealth through wise investments. According to Garcia, the only real motivation left for Bud would be to fight Canelo and close his career on a historic note. He's smart with his money. He doesn't need to fight. But if the Canelo fight comes, he'll take it. Otherwise, I think he walks away.
You know why? He wants to make the biggest fucking payday.
Does he have a chance in the fight?
Everybody has a chance, but I think he'll put up some good rounds. I think he loses to Canelo, but he'll put up good rounds. Better than Charlo did.
If the mega fight does happen, Robert Garcia believes Crawford could hold his own early against Canelo, showing his skills to both the fans and Alvarez himself. "I think Crawford would give good rounds," Garcia said. "The first 6 to 8 rounds would be very competitive. He's strong, fast, smart, and hits hard enough to earn Canelo's respect." However, Garcia added that over time, Canelo's size and strength would likely wear Crawford down. Even so, he acknowledged the matchup would be thrilling to watch. For those first 6 rounds, it would be a great fight, really exciting for the fans, Garcia concluded.
Crawford, Canelo.
He'll put up some good rounds. He'll fight. He'll probably get stopped and get knocked out, but he'll put up some good rounds. Yeah, but he'll put up.
The highly anticipated showdown between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford still appears to be nothing more than an idea, as a major obstacle continues to stand in the way. The issue goes far beyond simply agreeing on a multi-million-dollar purse. Even if presented with the biggest payday of his career, Canelo may not be willing to compromise, leaving the fight hanging in uncertainty. Ryan Garcia has made his opinion crystal clear regarding a potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. In a recent interview with CES TV, Garcia, never shy about bold statements, dismissed Crawford as an overhyped bum and confidently predicted that Alvarez would win if they ever shared the ring. Garcia didn't stop there, he accused Crawford of being a boring fighter who doesn't deserve the attention he receives, even claiming that he's stealing boxing's money.
Other than Errol Spence Jr. that went through a car crash. Name one guy that he beat other than Errol Spence that's well known. Sean Porter that was from Wash. Who has he beat? He hasn't beat nobody, bro. He's not gonna beat nobody, bro. Terence Crawford.
The young fighter, currently sidelined by a doping suspension, took his remarks even further by directly challenging Crawford. Garcia boldly declared, "Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking expletives." His comments were especially daring given the controversy surrounding his failed drug test earlier this year. Despite his current situation, Garcia remained defiant and unshaken in his stance, even going so far as to call out one of boxing's biggest stars to settle the matter in the ring.
Like, bro, Terence Crawford's not no, he ain't like that, bro. Terence Crawford is an overhyped bum, bro. I'm sorry. Somebody gotta say it. You're an overhyped bum, bro. I'm looking at the camera right now. You suck, bro.
Speaking again to CES TV, Garcia doubled down. Terence Crawford is not like that. Crawford is an overhyped bum. I'm sorry, but someone has to say it, you're an overhyped bum. I'm looking at the camera right now, you freaking suck, bro. Stop acting like you're all that, stop stealing boxing's money, wasting everyone's cash. You're not entertaining, you're boring as hell. Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking nonsense. I can do it anytime, bro. Despite his harsh words, Garcia expressed confidence that a fight with Crawford could eventually materialize. "I could definitely see Crawford. What do you mean?" Garcia added, suggesting the door is open for a future showdown.
Like that, stop stealing boxing money, you're wasting everybody's money, you're not entertaining, bro, you're boring as come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking shit. I can do it anytime.
You need to see Crawford.
I can definitely see Crawford, bro. What do you mean? Bro, I've seen many fighters like him too. He's not that good, bro. He gets hit a lot, bro. He gets wobbled, hit, bro. He's not untouchable, bro. You act like he's Mayweather.
Garcia further defended his stance by reflecting on their amateur backgrounds. "I was one of the best amateurs, and he was too. I've seen many fighters like him. I don't care if he can avoid my left hook, I'll find a way to land it. He's not untouchable, he gets hit a lot and wobbled. He's not as good as people think." If a fight between Garcia and Crawford ever happens, it would likely be at a catchweight. Garcia has never competed at the 147-pound welterweight limit or higher, while Crawford last fought at 140 pounds back in 2017. Nevertheless, despite recently testing positive for a banned substance after his bout with Devin Haney, Garcia continues to make headlines by undermining the legacies of other fighters.
I don't think that he's not a great fighter, but I don't think he's as good as people say. He's not like a Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, not Tommy Hearns. You can't do that because he's not like that, bro. He hasn't fought nobody that has firepower like him.
Ryan Garcia has set his sights squarely on Terence Crawford, even as Crawford pursues a blockbuster fight with Canelo Alvarez in 2025, a fight Canelo has yet to accept. Garcia claims he personally called Crawford to request a fight, aiming to prove that Crawford isn't as great as many believe, while dangling the possibility of a big payday. "I already called him," Garcia said. "I think he's just trying to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, but I don't think that's going to happen." When asked if he had ever faced an opponent with one-punch knockout power, Garcia admitted, "No, that's why I think Bud Crawford is overrated."
Who would win, him or Boots?
I like Boots. In my opinion, I like Boots. I don't think Crawford could keep up with somebody that talented and young and fast. I haven't even seen him fight somebody talented.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to TKOH for more knockout content. From fight breakdowns to real-time reactions, we've got it all right here. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and keep your guard up.